Morning class, we're going to go over chapter 3, properties of parallel lines. So first of all, we're going to talk about a transversal. A transversal is a line that intersects two coplanar lines at two distinct points. So right here, we intersect here. So this right here, this line, T, that would be our transversal of A, B. So what we're going to start talking about, we're going to talk about alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles are inside. Interior means we're inside our parallel lines. So what angles are inside our parallel lines? We have 3 and 4, 5 and 6. So alternate meaning they're alternating sides. So 3 and 6 would be alternate interior angles, and 4 and 5 would be alternate interior angles. So you can write down the definition, the word definition, if that makes sense to you, or you can draw the picture. But you need to have alternate interior angles. Next, we're going to have same side interior angles. So once again, we're inside. Interior means we're inside the parallel lines. So what's inside would be 4 and 6. They're on the same side. So same side interior angles would be 4 and 6. And then 3 and 5 would be same side interior angles. Last one, we have corresponding angles. So corresponding angles are angles that correspond to the position there. So 2 corresponds to 6. They're in the same position as far as the parallel lines, in accordance with the parallel lines. So you have 2 and 6 would work, 4 and 8. 1 and 5 would be corresponding angles, 3 and 7 would be corresponding angles. So we want to identify alternate interior angles. So if we look at it, these are my lines that are parallel, right here. So we're only looking at angles 3 and 4, 5 and 6. So alternate interior would be 4 and 5, or 3 and 6. Same side. So now we're interior angles. Same side would be 3 and 5, 4 and 6. Corresponding angles now correspond to position. So 8 corresponds to 4. 6 corresponds to 2. And then up here, 1 corresponds to 5, and 3 corresponds to 7. Now, here's our postulates for it. So corresponding angles. What do we know about corresponding angles? They are congruent to one another. So we could say angle 5 equals angle 8. Angle 2 equals angle 4. 3 is equal to angle 1. And 6 and 7 are equal. Those are corresponding angles are congruent. Next, alternate interior. So we're going interior angles. So here and here. So 2 and 8. Or excuse me, alternate interior. 6 and 8 would be equal, or 2 and 1 would be equal. Same side are supplementary, means they add to 180 degrees. So same side right here and here. So we'd say 2 and 8 would be congruent, or 2 and 8, angle 2 plus angle 8 equals 180 degrees. And then 6 and 1, we add together, would equal 180 degrees. So just to review, corresponding angles are congruent, alternate interior angles are congruent, and then same side interior angles add up to 180 degrees. So let's go through this one here. One thing I want to point out to you, I'm going to move the board over just real quickly. I'll move the camera so you can see. When we have these angles, and they're one thing I just want to state just real quick, and we'll leave that up there, is this little squiggly line that you'll see here. All right, so that just means parallel. In your book, you're going to see arrow marks on it. That means that they're congruent. So if you see these, usually they're in red, that means that they are not congruent, parallel to one another. So if you see these markings here, arrows in the middle of the line, that means they're parallel. So when you go through here, you have 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, 6, 8, and 7. When we go to angle 2 equals 35 degrees, so this angle right here is 35 degrees. We can find every other angle in this from there. So I could come here, like 3, so this is angle 2. Angle 2 and angle 6 are corresponding angles. So corresponding angles are congruent. So 35, so angle 6 would equal 35 degrees. And I'm going to point it back. Then you go to your next one. So we'll go back here. So you know angle 6. 2 and 6 are corresponding. So it's going to be 35. And I want you to explain. Angle 2 and 4, what type of angles are those? Those are from last chapter. They're the same. They're equal because they're vertical angles. Then we go to 3. So you could go here. So once you have this, now you can solve. Angle 2 and angle 3, what will they add up to? Well, they form a straight line, so they're going to add up to 180 degrees. So we go 180 minus 35 is 145. So you could say 145 degrees by supplementary angles. Then you have angle 8. So now we come over here. Well, how could I get angle 8? Well, you know angle 4 is 35 degrees. 4 and 8, you look at them, they are corresponding angles. So you could say that's 35 degrees. It's corresponding to angle 4. So that would be our explanation of it, and we go from there. So we're using all of these to find the missing ones. So here, going through the same process. Angle 1, so you have parallel lines here. You also have parallel lines here. You have two sets of parallel lines. Well, angle 1 and 105, what type of angles are these? Well, they're vertical angles, so it's 105. Angle 2 then, angle 105 and 2, what type of angles are these? Corresponding, so it's going to be 105. Then you have angle 3. So if you got angle 2, angle 3, how could you get angle 3? Well, it's 105 because they're vertical. Angle 4, well, if you know angle 3 and angle 4, here are our parallel lines. These two are inside our parallel lines, so they're same side interior. What are they going to add up to? 180 degrees. So we go 180 minus 105, and that gives us 75 degrees. So then you have it here. So you're here at angle 4. Angle 4 and angle 5, what type of angles? Well, they form a straight line, so they're supplementary. So 75 plus what equals 180, which would be 105. Then you go angle 6. Well, what do you know about 4 and 6? 4 and 6 are corresponding angles. So if they're corresponding, then you can go ahead and state that they're going to be the same. So that would be 75 degrees. And then lastly, you have angle 7. Well, what do you know about angle 7 and angle 5? Those are inside our parallel lines. They're on opposite sides, so we call those alternate interiors. So angle 7 is going to be the same as 5. So there's many ways you could do that. There, I just went through a quick way. But you're using all those methods. I said vertical angles are going to stay with us. Last one. Angle, find the measure. All right. Angle 3 is 12x minus 8. Angle 5 is 3x plus 10. So you have 3 and 5. What type of angles are 3 and 5? They're inside our parallel lines. They're on opposite sides, so we call those alternate interior. What do we know about alternate interior angles? They are congruent. So now we can set up an equation that they're equal to one another. And now we can solve it out. So I want to move 3x over, so I subtract 3x. So 12x minus 3x is 9x. I want to move 8 over, so I add 8, which gives me 18. I need to get rid of the 9, divide by 9, so x is equal to 2. So that, and then we can show that they're equal. We want to know what is the measure of them, so we plug them in. It's 16 degrees, and then angle 5 would be 16 degrees. When you come through here, we have two parallel lines, and I'm going to draw this and put it up on this side over here, and we'll find it together. But we have two parallel lines that we're working with. So we always want to identify our parallel lines. They say this one is parallel to this one. And then we have this line coming down through here like this. So these are our parallel lines. This is 70 degrees. All right. This right here is 50 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera over so we can see it, so that way we can solve for x and for y. So I've drawn that figure. What we have is we have two lines that are parallel. These right here are my parallel lines. Okay? This would be my transversal. This line, if you wanted to, you need the picture, you can continue it on. Now, what do you notice about 70? And I'm going to erase this right now. And just look at my two parallel lines. And then look at 70 and x. What type of angles are those? One's on the inside of my parallel lines, one's on the outside, same side. So these are corresponding angles. So you could come here and say x is equal to 70, and you could say it because of corresponding angles. So let's erase this. This is 70 degrees. Now let me ask you this. What's this angle and this angle going to add up to? Well, we know that those two angles, so x is 70. So these two angles will add up to 180 degrees. So this angle right here, so 180 minus 70 is 110. So this angle right here is going to be 110. Now, we'll go from there. Let's draw in the rest of it. So this angle was composed of this line that came down here. This angle was 50, and this angle was y. So these two angles added together, y plus 50, will equal how much? 110 degrees. Subtract 50 from both sides, and y is equal to 60. There are other ways to do it too, but that's just one way. Use corresponding angles. From there, we can use supplementary angles to solve it out. Oh, so you can see y is 60 degrees. So we'll go back. I really want you guys writing down examples, not just copying from a neighbor and being as quickly as you can. The better notes you take, the more you'll get. Okay? So that's our lesson for today. Corresponding angles, supplementary, corresponding angles, which are congruent. Okay? One's on the inside, one's on the outside. So we have corresponding, alternate interior. Inside are parallel lines, opposite sides, they're congruent. And same side, which are supplementary.